welcome. We're doing some synthesizer talk. We're going to talk about what I did because I want to do a little patch breakdown. There's one patch per each song, so it's like a sound. And each patch on this synth, which is the Prophet Rev 2, David Smith Instruments, it has 2 layers. So I used both layers on like almost everything. I think it was Back Pocket where I didn't use both layers because I did the solo at the end. Yeah. And I think in How Deep Is Your Love, I don't think I used it at all because I made a patch for it, but I was like, I don't know, I don't really need to use one because I could just use the other keyboard. And I also have this. I mean, I could use it, but I don't know. I didn't. This doesn't matter. I'm trying to think. Oh, also in the Baby I Don't Know, I tried to recreate the sound from the second, like the end part of Benny and the Jets. Yeah. 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 So let's get to the first one. It gets funkier. There's 2 layers. So yeah. The second layer. You put that together. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, so what's going on here? There's a lot. First of all, there's a delay. So if I turn it off, the notes end immediately. If I turn it on, you get that little trail off. That's the funk. You want the funk because it's a funky song. That's the whole point. So there's some cutoff. It starts off a bit low, but if you put in too much resonance, it sounds corny and stupid. But you gotta get that right amount. And not every note is the same, because that's the funk. You want some modulation. And that's because I have this LFO, or no, wait. Yeah, okay, yeah. I have the LFO on the random shape, so it's like random. So every time I press the key, it starts at a different point. And there's also a bit of pans. You'll hear it a bit from left to right. But yeah. So this is the second layer. It's got an HP filter on it, so if I put that fully in the mix, it's like an extra cutoff and resonance that is being modulated by, I think it's these LFOs, yeah. Like 3 different LFOs. 2 of them are on like a random setting, and one of them's like on a triangle. But it's like, it just makes it go nuts, because that's the funk. Whoa, that sound when I hold it. But without it, see, it's just static, and it's just like a rising thing. It's got that same funky, but it's a little bit slower. And I made this layer not only because it's a bit deeper, because the first one's like, or hold on, let me do like the second one. It's on a lower octave, but also just because I wanted that, you gotta add that funk. There's a slight rhythmic difference. Yeah. Let's see what else. I'm trying to think of what. Oh yeah, okay. So there's a LFO on the cutoff that is key sync. So when I press the key, it starts it, and it's just a really slow rise. So that's like that. That part of it. It's that. Absolutely no release on your funk sounds, bro. You let go of the note, you're done playing that note because you want to. You hit that like. Hold on, let me. But I have the bit of delay, so it creates some more rhythm. Because funk is about rhythm. It's about 16th notes. Like you chart that out, it's all 16th notes and like a little bit of tying and holding notes and shit. It's about funk. Gets funkier. So now Japanese denim. There's two sounds here. This is the first layer that I use for the first half of the song, and then in the second half of the song. And I have the mod wheel set to increase the cutoff. So I don't do it often, because you can't do it too often, because if I put it at full, it's kind of an aggressive sound for the song. But if you crank it up slowly, just a few times, then it works. It's really gradual. And there's just a little bit of delay also. I probably should have put more, because honestly, that's a bit too like soon of a fade out. But I mean, it's fine. It's good in the mix. So on this, the pad, both oscillators are set at different octaves just so you get more range, because you want a full sound. Pads are full. There's also a reverb. So if I take it off, you know, it's a difference. There's onboard like digital effects on this synth. So it's also the cutoff is being modulated. The wavy, wow, wow, wow. That's the cutoff. So if I turn off, boring sounds. You turn on the LFO just a little bit, not too much. Because if you make it go crazy, it sounds stupid. Don't make your sounds stupid. Make them cool. Yeah, it's pretty basic, but I mean, you know, it's neat. So, Baby I Don't Know, I tried to recreate the sound from Benny and the Jets. So there's a little noise. Like literally white noise. But just a little bit. Because too much and it's incomprehensible. You put just a little bit, it's gritty. And I do believe that they actually did that in the patch probably. And what I decided to go for like a ring mod as the effect, because it gets that sound. Like I put it in the mix. It sounds nuts. But if you put it less in the mix, it just sounds a little bit whack. And that's what it is. It's also mono, only one note at a time. Because it's a lead sound. And I have an LFO modulating the ring shift, like the amount. Yeah, I have it set to like, I forgot what this is. It's like key track or something. I don't know, on the ring mod. But aside from that, if I turn it off, and if I get rid of the noise, it's pretty basic. It's two sawtooths. The second one is in a lower... Or wait, is it? No, they're not in different octaves, I don't think. Yeah, no. Okay. Let's just talk about this first one for a bit. I have an LFO set to both of them in the shape, like the wave shape. So if I turn it off, literally it's just a sound. But that's like what I'm modulating with the thing. And the second one is a sawtooth combined with a triangle wave, and it's just set a little bit off, so you get that sort of like a little bit of crunch as it goes on. Yeah. And it's really basic, because I mean, like, the mod wheel isn't doing anything here. I don't use the pitch bend because they don't use the pitch bend in the song. And I just kind of like interpolated the lick that they do. I don't know if that's exactly what notes they play, but I mean, I just listened to it like a few times. I was like, oh, this is what they do. Out Like a Light. Next song. Yeah. Mostly what I would do throughout this song is go like... Because it works. There's a lot of release, there's a lot of delay. But then kind of near the end, when it's like everything's like rising and you play chords, you hit those chords for a moment. Yeah. So there's two layers. This is this is probably like the most complex patch out of all of them. But that's just without any of the delay. Here's the first layer with delay. It trails off like that. But it's just like a bit of cutoff. It's two triangles. And if you hold it, there's very little sustain, and you can kind of hear it sort of pitter out a bit. Because I have an LFO set to cutoff, so it gets that like wah, but it's at a certain tempo, or not whatever, like rate. But I didn't want it to like repeat over and over, because it does repeat. So I had to make it so the sound kind of like quiets down. So you still hear it if you hold a note, but I mean, I don't hold a note that much. And also there's just so much going on, because if you like... You like barely hear it, and it just kind of sounds like part of the delay at that point, if like, you know, when you're playing it. And there's also, I have the mod wheel set. I think I forgot to use the mod wheel like during the set, and it just makes that LFO faster. Let me see, did I set it to do anything else? Yeah, no. But I mean, it sounds great when you put it with... So, the second patch, or not patch, the second layer, it's at a higher octave. This one is at a lower octave. Second layer. So, this is without the effects, and with the effects. It's a delay that I put on here. It's not as strong, but it's still there, because the sound, this one is like the more like emphasized part, I guess, because the other part just adds sort of like some meat to it. But this one is really like, there's some release and there's some LFOs going on. I have one set to the cutoff. I have one set to the oscillator mix. So let me turn both these off for a moment and just... Oh yeah, also within this one, they are set at different octaves. Because this one is like really high. I think this is like... I don't know if this is like C5 or what, but I mean, it's high. But if I have the LFOs on, it modulates between those two oscillators in the mix. So it'll like have some waviness to it. Oh wait, sorry, that was the first layer. I'm stupid. Yeah. Yeah, I also have the mod wheel set to a few things. It changes the frequency, so the pitch will bend a bit, and also it changes the delay a little bit, so the pitch will bend from the delay getting like shorter by just a little bit. Because if you do it too much, I mean, if you do that too much, it sounds cool sometimes, but not in this context, because it would be too much. You gotta be subtle about it. Oh wait, let me turn this on. Yeah. But yeah, if you just go ham on the wheel, then it kind of makes it stupid. But I mean, I don't think I used it at all. I should have. I just kind of forgot. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it for that sound. So, Get Creative, the original song that we played, it's 2 layers, and I used both of them at the same time. I wanted to have this like very gradually rising effect. This is in the bridge, so it's kind of like going back into the chorus, but it's like, you know, its own section. So there's a lot of rising, and I have to play it in a specific way to kind of get it to sound the way I want. It's because you hold the notes, and I don't have a sustain pedal for this, which would probably help, but I don't know by how much. But anytime there is a shared chord tone, I just hold that note. I don't like replay it, because I mean it's still sustaining the note and it's part of the rise. So every time I hit a note, that note starts its descent. But if I hit another note, it doesn't interrupt the previous note's descent. See, this one's rising on its own separately. And what exactly is rising, you might ask? A lot of things. There's a ton of resonance, which is not what's being modulated. It's the cutoff. So it starts really low, it gets really high, but that like very high, like overtony sound, that's the resonance. It's like literally, it's like full almost. It's like, if I turn off this. You can literally hear the overtone scale. But it's so gradual, because, you know, if I modulate it too fast, it becomes like fucking club music. And there, what effect do I have? Oh yeah, okay. I also had a phaser on this simultaneously. So let me turn off the... Let me like... Okay. Very slow phaser. Which is kind of just adding a little bit more of that like rising sort of effect. I don't think I had anything modulating that, no. It's just as is. But then the other patch, it doesn't have, it has reverb. It doesn't have that like rising effect that the other one has, because it's just kind of there. But there is a little bit of modulation still. It's also, I think this is high. Let me see. Yeah. This one is significantly higher than the other one. The other one's low pitch because there's so much resonance that you gotta have it low pitch, or else it's like too much. Like if I had it way up here, like incomprehensible. It doesn't. Yeah. The resonance is being modulated just a little bit. That's that kind of like, it's set on the random shape and it's LFO, and it's like, it's set to the tempo of here, which is 120, but that's not the tempo of the song. It's just, I don't know. It just was at the right rate that I wanted to have it be modulating. And it's subtle, because it's not overtaking anything. It's like, it's just a little bit. But also the shape of the first oscillator is being modulated. The pulse wave. Let me see, what is the mix like? Yeah, it's a bit more towards the second one. So let me like isolate that. Yeah, second oscillator, first one. And that's what it's being modulated by. I turned off the LFO. And it's subtle. It's like that fast, kinda, or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, that's like barely in the mix at all. A lot of layers. If you add more modulation and more complexity to your sounds, they sound better, because it's just more going on. It's more human. But yeah, I didn't play the left hand on it because my left hand was entirely on the piano. I was just like going up the octaves and shit. So it's like I had to play like a ninth chord with one hand pretty much. About, I don't know, like... And that was just for the bridge, but I really like how this sounds. This is probably my favorite sound out of the bunch. How Deep Is Your Love? I made a patch, but I didn't really use it for the song, because I was like, I don't know, I don't really need to have one for every song. But I mean, I just made it just kind of out of, like, in case I need something. And it's kind of just like a bit of a keys sound. There's a little bit of release, because it's just like casual. But I also added some modulation to cutoff, resonance. It's really small, and the oscillator shape. That's like that clicking part. Or no, hold on, let me see. No, okay, the clicking thing that you kind of hear in it is from the cutoff and resonance. The oscillator is just kind of being modulated a little bit. And I have the mod wheel just kind of making it faster. And like a bit more. But really, I didn't even use this. Oh, I also have the pitch bend. I turned off the pitch bend, but I made it modulate the cutoff and stuff, so... Yeah. And what did I have? I had a little bit of chorus. This is without it. This is with it. It's just subtle. And the second layer is completely different. It's a pad I wanted to use, but I forgot. Because I could have just sprinkled this in a little bit at the end. It's just like... Yeah, modulating, what is it? The oscillator shape, I think. Let me see. Okay, yeah, the mod wheel is doing resonance, and it's also making the frequency of the LFO faster, the one that's changing the shape. So it gets that, like, like that click, but it's like really, it's speeding up, like the freaking... So what's going on? So let's see, what else do we got? Did I have an effect on this? I think I just had, do I have reverb on this? I think I might have. Yeah, there's just a reverb on this too. It's not that crazy, but I didn't even use this sound. And now the final one, back pocket. It's just one layer. It's just a pulse wave. There's 2 pulse waves. They're a little bit offset in the shape. It's a mono sound because it's a lead. Let me see, I had a little bit of a flanger on it, but it's like very subtle. Just to give it some more character. And there's also a lot of glide. So if I hit a note and then I hit another note, it goes down to that note. Yeah, like the pitch. So I can do like. But that's not all, because I have the mod wheel going nuts. Let's see. It's like a lot of things at once. It's LFO4, the amount and the frequency goes up when I hit the mod wheel, as well as the second LFO's amount. And the 4th one is set to the frequency, so that's like the pitch going all crazy, because when I hit it up, you don't stay on that. That's like to go nuts, because you go like. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's also LFO1 is very subtle. It's set to the shape of the first pulse wave. Just a little more character. It's a little crunchy. The pitch bend, I set it to a half step because I think that's the perfect amount, because what I wanted to do, or I think I did a little bit, or what I usually do in the playing is that I just make it gradually go down. Or wait, no, hold on. Is it a full step? That sounds like a whole step. Did I have it at a whole step? Okay, yeah, the pitch bend range is a whole step. My bad. Yeah, that's the normal anyways. I thought I changed. Maybe I think I changed it and then I changed it back or something. But yeah. But I don't even hit it fully, so I'm like hitting it at a half step anyways around there. Because I would go like. I think A is a good note to sort of descend on. E is a good note to descend on. G is not, because you hit F. That's dumb. It's not in the key. I mean, you can play notes that aren't in the key, but you gotta be subtle. You gotta hit them grace notes or hit them really fast or as passing tones. Because I would do this also. And there's F in that. D is kind of good. You know, you can't hit that C, but I mean, if you hit it at like D sharp, it's good. And I mean, G kind of works the same, but like, I don't know. Just pitch bend wisely. I didn't pitch bend up because, I mean, it still sounds cool, but it's not part of my playing in terms of these leads, this lead solo. I was like, I don't need to. I just pitch bend down. And I'd make the, you know. And at the end, what I do is I have one, it's like a specific, so like, imagine like the mod wheel's right here, I have my finger on it, and then I have my thumb down here ready to hit the key. So you can't do that on like every keyboard, because sometimes they place the mod wheel in a stupid spot. But it's like placed sort of a bit above the keyboard. It's like, if I just move my hand directed, it's like right in this range. So what I would do at the end, or at least what I try to do, is I hit the octaves. So it's like, so my hand would like go up and then come down and hit G, because I hit it up, so it's like up. So it's like that crazy, like I think in the live performance, I accidentally hit F instead of G in that low note. But that's just at the very end of the song. That's kind of the only planned part of the solo, and I kind of didn't do it fully, but I mean, it's fine. Because no matter what you do, this is just a cool sound. Oh, B is also a good note to descend on, because you get A. And I say don't do things throughout this video, but you can do them. Break the rules. The rules are meant to be broken, but you learn the rules before you break them, because you can't break a rule unless you learn it. But yeah, that's synth sound design. None of them are insane. They're kind of just, I came up with them in like a few hours, and I just went with them. But yeah, I don't know. It's something else. This is whatever, man. Just play the sounds, make some noise. Yeah, there's so many sounds. You can make all the sounds. I love synthesizers. Thanks for watching. Great stuff. We did it, boys. Yeah, let me hit you with a little... Yeah. Yeah. Done. I'm done with this crap.